and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is March 4, 2026. And I'm Abdul Majid Awan from my homemade studio, where we're all working from home. It's been a tough couple of 5 days in the Middle East. There's been a lot that is happening. We've covered everything on Smashi Business. But for today, our main stories are somewhat related to what the aggression by Iran has been shown in retaliation to the Israeli-US attacks on their sovereign territory. The first thing that we're going to discuss is a very growing story where nearly 35,000 Brits are here. Some of them are trying to flee the country, although it's one of the safest places on the planet, even with whatever is happening outside. Pavel Durov, Telegram founder, has said that Elon Musk has said that world's richest man, if he gives you a thumbs up, I think there's no point arguing that this is not a safe place to be, even with everything happening. Apart from that, many locals, Khalaf al-Abtur, the CEO, the founder, the head, the person behind, the billionaire behind the Al-Habtoor group, he's also said it's safe. Naguib Sawiris, an Egyptian billionaire, the richest man in Egypt, the richest man in North Africa apparently, he's also said this is a safe space for everyone to be in. He's also based here now, runs Mon-Friday, one of our competitors, one of the platforms where they're trying to teach the youth financial education. So that's one of the first stories that I want to discuss today. There's a few clips that I would like to run. There's a morning show host saying that the Brits should maybe pay for evacuations if they want to go out of the Gulf countries towards Brits. There's a politician, Liberal Democrat, he's also saying something. But we have a lot of Brits in the UAE who are living here. And one of them is Greg Tanner. He's a person who has a company. He's a director at Mayfair Media. He's worked with the National before that also. And he has publicly pushed back against calls by UK Liberal Democrats leader Sir Ed Davey to tax British expatriates living abroad, particularly in the UAE. This is what has been happening, that they're specifically targeting UAE and Dubai, because we saw that nearly 16,400 millionaires came to the UAE in the last year. Out of that, nearly 60-70% were UK expats. They love the city, they love the sunshine here, they love the beaches, they love the sunlight all year around. And they've been moving here, and every Britisher right now who is in Britain is criticizing people who came here for safety, for their kids' safety, who came here to avoid street crimes, who came here to avoid a lot of things, excessive taxes. We've done so many stories on Smashi Business where we've talked about how non taxes have forced billionaires and even millionaires to move away from the British. It's their own policy that is driving the people away, but they want to just blame Dubai and its tax-friendly policies and its safety and its security and its leadership and everyone, just to hide their own making, what they've done to the British people. We've done a lot of stories. We've seen a lot of comments on our posts as well. People are talking about how there's street crimes, there's stabbing. One Muslim Britisher said that I have lived in the UK, I've grown up in the UK. Very nice comment. And she's like, we were pushed out of the country literally because of, as she calls it, racism and taxes and everything. And then now she's like, now they're questioning our tax policies. So it's very interesting how the whole conversation, the whole debate, the whole argument is happening. But I found a very interesting rule which a lot of people don't talk about when they talk about, oh, the Britishers are running away from the UK to not pay taxes. The UK and UAE already have what, if you can call it, a rule or a thing in place, a legislation in place, which says that if UK Britishers are going to any other country, they would not be taxed double on their income. So if they're moving to the UAE, it's in UK's legislation that they will not pay tax on the salary that they earn in Dubai. It's double taxation, something legislation, very interesting name. It's in our newsletter today. It's part of one of the stories on our Instagram feed as well. But it's very interesting that the government itself has made a legislation with UAE in 2012, and now the people who are sitting in the government, who are sitting in the parliament, House of Commons, they are criticizing that, oh, why is this happening? You yourself have a legislation that they should not pay double tax, they should not pay taxes on their salary in Dubai, Saudi, Riyadh, wherever they're moving away from the UK. So it's ironic, it's very interesting, but apart from Greg Tranner, there's a lot of people on LinkedIn, on social media who are criticizing the Brits. However, the British government right now has a whole evacuation thing in place. You can, their foreign office is here. You can contact them if you want to leave. If you're stuck here as a tourist, Dubai government is helping you stay in hotels. They're paying for your overstays. They're paying for your food. They're literally paying for everything. Right now, obviously, the situation is dire. It's not, I won't see it's all flowers and all good, but they've intercepted more than 800 missiles, more than 1,500 drones. They've intercepted literally everything. There is minor skirmishes that are happening because of the interceptions and a lot of things falling down, the debris falling down. Yesterday there was a press conference at 3:30. A lot of people were there in that press conference. Minister of Economy was there. His Excellency Tawkal Mari was there. Reem Al-Hashmi was there. She's the Minister for International Cooperation. I've never seen in my life UAE's armed forces head online, but he was also there. So it shows you that they're showing that this place is not as much in problem as the Western media is showing. And that's one of the things that we want to highlight through all of our channels, through Augustus Media, through Lovin channels, through Smashi channels, that whoever is telling you that it's kind of like a war zone and there's nothing in the supermarkets and it's panic and it's that. No, I go to swimming every day with my son. A lot of people are living their lives normally. They're on the beaches, they're in the hotels. Small things are happening, but magnifying them, I want to use a heavy word for it, but making it so big because people from outside are messaging us, everyone is getting messages from families outside like, how is it? And we are all telling them that it's very pretty normal. There is obviously, whenever there is a sonic boom, we have a very nice piece on Love in Dubai on how and why you can hear a missile being intercepted from 100 kilometers away as well. I think the more knowledge you get about how these things happen, the safer you get, because the fear of unknown is a serious fear. The safety of knowing what's happening, what the government is doing, what the armed services are doing, makes you relaxed a bit. And thanks to the UAE government, we're in the UAE, they've given us moment by moment updates. They've told us what to do in terms of safety, what to not to do in terms of safety. So there's a lot of things that have been put in place for the people of the country to feel safe. And that's a sign of a proactive government. I have a lot of people have asked me, how are you doing? Just small personal note, I've literally grown up in a war zone. If you know the history of Karachi, the last 20-30 years of history, I was tear gassed in my house at the age of 7. So I can't tell you more, I can't explain more to make you understand how bad the situation was in Karachi. If you want to Google it, just write May 12 Karachi, you'll see it was literally first person shooter game happening between terrorists, between political parties, between the army and the region. I've seen so much. And then when I am here right now in the UAE, in Dubai, whatever is happening, the proactiveness of the government in interceptions and keeping a very nice line of defense in place, intact, it shows you that they care about the people. They're not going to leave us stranded on the streets without food, without shelter, without water, without anything. They actually care. That is one of the reasons yesterday in the press conference they also said that we're not going for an offensive. We will defend our position. We will defend our country. For now, it's not an offensive that we're going on. But moving on to some other business news, this is kind of like a geopolitical business economic environment that I wanted to explain to everyone who watches Smashi Business, listens to Smashi Business. It's not as bad as the Western media is showing you. I hate, as a journalist, 15 years in the industry, I hate when personal biases seep into journalism. And it is a personal bias by a lot of European, Western, and I would want to highlight here British journalists who are trying to pose headlines like, oh no, Dubai has lost its charm, its glamour and everything. No, Dubai is still standing. Dubai is very strong. It's not going to fall. It's It took 20, 30, more than those years to build this country. They're not going to let it fall down in a day. So don't worry, we are safe here. And just be mindful when you're walking on the streets in your countries. But Paramount deal is our next story. Paramount, which is backed by Gulf Sovereign Wealth Funds, $24 billion of money that is being put into the $111 billion deal that Paramount has struck with Warner Brothers. Netflix pulled out. They were like, we want this, but we don't really want this. It was a nice to have deal. So Netflix have pulled out. Their share prices have gone up. They're trading at $97 per share now. They were very flat at 84, 85 during the time when they were the front runners, but the investors have loved the idea that they're not going to spend 80 plus billions on buying Warner Brothers. But Paramount has fallen on the share market. I think their investors are now worried that where are they going to gather 111 billion, I think, and that is why they're worried and that's why they're pulling out. But 111 billion, 24 billion from Gulf states, it's Saudi PIF, it's Abu Dhabi's Imad, which is a new sovereign wealth fund. It's the fourth sovereign wealth fund, which has digested now ADQ assets and is under His Highness Sheikh Khalid, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. It's being run under him. And there is Qatar Investment Authority, by Qatar obviously. They are investing $24 billion. The structure, the breakdown of that $24 billion hasn't been told to us. We don't know if it's 88 billion or is it like 10, 12 something. But there is 24 billion in place from them. And it's also reported, the document that everyone saw by Paramount submitted, it only says their names and the amount, not the breakdown. But what is happening right now is the next step is that it goes to FCC, which is a commission which sees the viability of the whole deal, to explain to you shortly. And the FCC head in the US has said that there is no problem in this whole deal. So the first hurdle that the Paramount acquisition of WBD was going to face has been solved, because the FCC head says he doesn't see a problem. So now the deal goes forward. Obviously it's a long deal. It will take at least not two, I hope, years, but at least a year long it's a year long process. It will take 1 year to finalize everything and finally for WBD to merge completely into Paramount Skydance. And there's a lot of conversation happening about how Gulf funds, all these Gulf funds that are named PIF, QIA and Limad, how are they going to play in? The thing is that if they take a decision-making seat, if they don't take a minority stake, if they take a majority stake, the antitrust laws kick in. There's a lot of commissions in the US which try to keep foreign intervention in anything, literally, in any deal, out of question. So that is why they're taking a silent deal right now. But it is a possibility that going forward, maybe they buy back and they buy more of the shares and become majority shareholder. But for now, they're a silent majority of three funds which are going in and buying these assets with Paramount Skydance, which is led by David Ellison, the son of Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison is the owner, the founder is the CEO, the man behind Oracle, and David Ellison is his son who runs Paramount Skydance. The only thing I see right now in this whole deal, it's a personal opinion, just one sentence, that it's going to be a magnanimous big giant that we will see merged together. So I don't know how they will manage all their assets, what platform will we be using. CNN is going in also. So is CNN going to become a streamed news channel, or is it going to stay as a legacy TV channel? There's a lot of things that have to be worked out, and as the details come, Smashi Business is here to tell you all the details. But the last story of the day is very interesting. We interviewed the Thaura AI brothers, Hani and Saeed Shihabi, before Thaura became what it is today. 1,000 paid subscribers, 3,000, more than 30,000 daily users. We interviewed them through LinkedIn. I met them then at Web Summit. We did a very nice video with them explaining why they're going against big tech, why they think that Thaura is an ethical ChatGPT alternative. Even now, they started with the slogan that it's an alternative to ChatGPT, but now they're making it bigger case that it's against big tech, it's against Anthropic, it's against Perplexity, it's against literally everyone. So they're saying they need a lot of energy to run. We are running on 99.99% sustainable backing, sustainable energy backing. They don't save your data. They don't use your data to train their models. They use open source data. It's a very nice ethical startup, but they posted a very interesting Instagram carousel on Instagram. It was a nice 4 or 5 slide read where they said that they were approached by Rounds, a company from Israel, and they were like, they tried to offer them a substantial amount to buy them. But what happened was there was 2 links in in the email. The first link was obviously their website, and then they went and they saw that the homepage said that they are based in Israel, and Thaura AI and all the startups under Tech for Palestine, which is an incubator kind of a situation. Paul Bigar is the founder. We've interviewed him twice, last year Web Summit and this year Web Summit. So they are very anti-Israel, and they don't want any participation from Israeli funds, from Israeli VCs, from even Israeli angel investors in their startups. They're trying to help Palestinian engineers get a job, Palestinian startups get a place in the world. Thaura is one of them, and Upscroll, which has gained more than 5 million followers now, is also one of the startups which came out of Tech for Palestine. So the whole idea is that an Israeli firm, Rounds, tried to buy Thaura AI, and the 2 brothers very nicely said, no, thank you so much, we're bootstrapped. They're using the money, their savings from their tech job to run it, and also the money from the people who have actually subscribe to it. It's a $10 fee for a month. You can use as much prompts as you want, but for free they give you 3 prompts. Saeed, one of the brothers, when I was talking to him, I posed this question that why 3 prompts per day? ChatGPT, Anthropic, Perplexity, whatever you use, Lisha, whatever you use, you get unlimited free prompts. They're like, it's not unlimited. They basically, whatever questions you ask, they train on it. Whatever things you ask, they train on it. So you're basically selling your privacy and then getting those free prompts as much as you want. With Thaura, we don't do that. We say, don't save your data. We don't save your questions. We don't keep a track of everything that you've shared with it personally. So that is why we charge $10, which is cheaper than the lowest ChatGPT account is $20, I think. So I've never bought it, but thankfully. But Thaura AI is $10, so you can use that. And they use open source information. So it's a very nice setup. And they have said no to one of the Israeli based firms. This was one of the questions that I asked them in the interview as well, that why are you bootstrapped and who will be the right VC or right investor who you will take onward? And they were like, whoever aligns with our ethics and morals and ideology of supporting Palestine, then we will see and obviously go through the processes and then take investment. Otherwise, we're very happy bootstrapped, and even with like 1,000 paid subscribers, I hope, most probably it was 2 months ago now, they've increased the paid subscribers 1,200 or 1,300. I'll ask them. But the idea is that they're still profitable even with a small number of people paying to them. So they're quite happy with it. These are all the stories that happened. There's a lot of stories. If you want to know what's happening, how the Iran war day 5 is going to pan out, how the last 4 days have panned out, go to our Instagram, go to our LinkedIn, go to our X account, go anywhere you want, wherever you watch your news or have your news. Even on WhatsApp, we have a WhatsApp channel. Just go there. We have a UAE dirham symbol is launching. Just to give you a few highlights, UAE symbol, dirham symbol will come on the keyboards on September 15. That's one of the news. Amazon is facing a lot of problems. Amazon Web Services, 3 data centers in the UAE, 2 were hit by debris. The first update that came out, they said objects. So I asked them, objects, debris or not? They said no, we're not commenting on that. But then the next data center, when it was affected by the debris, they finally came out and said, yes, it's a debris from a drone. And now the latest update was last night, and I saw that, and we'll most probably do a story on it as well. It says that they are continuing to restore services. A lot of apps were down. ADCB, Fab, I use Fab app, banking app. That was down. ADCB Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank, that app was down. Sarva trading app was down. Noon faced a lot of problems. Kareem faced a lot of problems. CEO Mudassir Sheikh on LinkedIn highlighted that there were problems, but they've solved the problem. Just to give you a small idea of how it happens, the Middle Eastern data centers are affected, so they're down, so you can't access that data. So what usually big companies have is they have a backlog, saved data somewhere always, because you can't rely on data centers. What if something turns down? So you need to access that data. So what they're telling, Amazon is telling everyone in the Middle East and Bahrain, is that take your historical data and place it on the US servers or the European servers, the accessibility to the data will become a little slow. So your app or your website will launch a little slowly, but the migration from the Middle Eastern data centers to the US data centers will help you restore service. And I think a lot of services which have restarted have done that. They've migrated all their data that they have historically and placed it on US European servers, and now you can access those apps, but you will see a minor lag which you won't notice. But as a service provider, it's very important that you don't face those lags, but you will. There's Noon was affected a little bit. So Amazon Web Services is used by a lot of people in this region. Lovin website was also affected. Smashi.tv, the platform where we stream live matches, a lot of live matches where we're streaming the Bahrain Zen Basketball League, that was affected. But now everything is slowly and gradually coming back into place. There was a very interesting story over the weekend that every interception that UAE is doing is costing them $1 million. And Iran is basically, it's a $1 to $28 comparison that the expert told Semaphore that when Iran spends $1 on making a drone, UAE spends $28 to intercept that drone. So it's a big cost that UAE is incurring right now, but thankfully they have the stocks, they have the ability. There was a very interesting number I read somewhere. It was actually on Bloomberg that 5% of the GDP of UAE and a lot of Gulf countries, nearly 5%, is spent on defense. And finally now we understand why they did that. Why was all these conferences where we receive weapons, and then UAE's state-backed company Edge, which is like the company which handles all our defense resources and buys and sells this stuff, why they were making billion-dollar deals. Finally, we see that it is being used now in place. So offense is not the best defense. Defense is the best defense, I think, right now. And there was another story. People are paying up to $350,000 just to leave the Gulf right now. And they're going to Europe. A lot of people were going to Europe. Semaphore did another exclusive, very interesting. They talked to security companies. They talked to private jet companies, and they came up with that number that they're charging $350,000 for family or business executives who were here for trips and now want to leave, go back to their countries. So all these things are happening. Saudi Aramco's Ras Tanura refinery was hit by the debris and they shut it down. Qatar's LNG production has been shut down. Strait of Hormuz, which is the main pathway for nearly 20% of the world oil by sea, has been shut down. So oil prices are up there, nearly $85. There's a lot of conviction by analysts that it may go to $100 per barrel if the Strait of Hormuz closes and stays closed for at least a month. So all that is happening in the world. But if you're in the UAE, the last message, I have written the last message so I can read it properly and there is no mistake in it. But in these, in this environment, in the wake of these developments, the best thing that you can do is stay safe, stay in your houses, try not to go outside in open areas a lot. And just one more important thing, always refer to official sources. Ministry of Interior, UAE is there. Saudi Arabia has so many official social media accounts for their agencies. Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, wherever you are, go to the official source. Don't go to people on X, on Instagram sharing, oh my God, this is happening. Every individual has a different experience to whatever is happening outside. I have a different experience because I have lived in a place where all this was very normal. But for a lot of people who haven't even heard a bomb sound ever in their life, it can be a different experience. So generalizing your experience and telling everyone that, oh, everyone should be scared, it's a bad thing, to be honest. It's not moral. There's a $200,000 fine in the UAE if you're spreading rumors, if you're going to sites where these blasts or these fires break out because of the debris. You're not allowed to film them. If you have 200,000 dirhams to just pay in fine, do it. Otherwise, avoid. Stay at home, stay with your family, stay with your loved ones, stay with your friends. If you're alone, find a person from your office, from your neighborhood, stay with them. It's good to have people around you in these times. They keep you distracted and they keep these things light on your heart. And stay safe. That's the most important part. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. Our social media is active. We're doing we're giving you all the updates from official sources, obviously, on our social media. So please join that. And for daily updates, for our daily summary of the last day, every morning 6:30, our newsletter comes directly into your inbox. Just go subscribe to the link in the description, and it's there. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Enjoy with your family. Spend time with your family. If you're working from home, in between, take a 5-minute break. Go have a chat with your wife, your son, your friend, your neighbor. Just have a relaxed time. The UAE government is here and they care for the people. We've seen it throughout the decades that their first priority is always people, so they will take care of it. So have a great day. Take care. Bye bye. See you tomorrow again, most probably from my house or otherwise from the studio. We'll see how the situation pans out. Bye bye. Hello everyone and welcome.